I'm gonna put everybody. I'm gonna put what we're gonna go over today is we are gonna walk through what an actual power hour, which we call the power hour, just meaning a solid focused hour of work. However, you may get this power hour done in like 1 hour. You may have time sometimes to do it for 2 hours, or you may have to do it in 5 minute increments when it works for you. You know, for Raquel and I, when we first started, we would get up and do it at 5 a.m. before our kids got up, before we went to our full-time jobs. But there was also days where we would like meet on our lunch break and do it. Or that's when we would work, you know, that's when I would get some work done, is I would be on my lunch break, or I'm sitting and waiting for a doctor's appointment or something like that. 5-10 minutes here. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a 1 hour focused block depending on your schedule. We were both working full time and had super busy schedules. So sometimes it was 10-15 minute pockets here and there. But if you get this chunk of work done every single day that we're going to go through, you're going to be able to see continual progress in your business. The biggest thing about this business, this is not a business that you can come in and out of. It is not a business that you can work sometimes when you feel like working it, and then when life gets busy, you just don't. It makes it really hard. This is a business you have to be consistent with. You don't have to put a lot of time in, ever. It doesn't require a lot, but it does require consistency. And we're going to go through that. I'm going to put what we're going through in the group chat right now so that you can save this graphic to your phone and have it to refer back to, just because you'll see, we'll talk about some examples. And you'll have that. That way you just have it on your phone. I just popped it in the thread. You can save it as a picture on your phone as we go through. But we are going to literally work through this hour. So this is not necessarily a training call so much as a practice call. So we're going to do the things that we're talking through. I'm going to let Raquel kick it off. This is our power hour. Again, you can do it as one full hour or break it up throughout your day. And go.
All right. So before I sit down to work, if you don't know this a little bit, I'm a little bit woo-woo, and I think that this part matters. I want to make sure that when I sit down to work, I get my head in the right spot, okay? Because this business, I talked about it before, and I will continue to talk about it. Mindset is everything. So when I sit down to work, I take 2 to 5 minutes to center myself and figure out, why am I building this business, okay? Right here, I pulled it from my wall. This is my vision board. We can touch more on these later, but these are things that I'm working towards. When I was first building this business, my goal was $500 a month. That's my goal. And so I would envision why that's important to me. That would alleviate some of the stress on my family. That would help supplement daycare and diapers. That was my vision. And I would tell myself affirmations of, I am a successful Beachbody coach earning $500 a week. And I would say that over and over. And one of my other affirmations were, all my bills are paid, all my needs are met, and I get to have fun spending money too. And I would repeat that over and over. If you've never said an affirmation, it feels weird, it feels awkward, I understand it, but there's so much power in our words. So if you don't believe it yet, instead of saying, I am a successful Beachbody coach earning $500 a month, maybe that sounds like, oh, I don't know, I don't really believe it. Then just say, I am working towards becoming a successful Beachbody coach earning $500 a month. I'm in the process of building a bomb business earning this, or whatever it is you're working towards, paying off student debt, whatever it is. But get in your mind why you're doing this. Because if you don't know why and what your vision is, it's very easy to not sit down and work. It's very easy we're talking about Casey and Jessica who are on vacation. It could be very easy to be like, and not that you can't take days off, but be like, it's not really that important. And then it's not important. And then a week goes by and you haven't done anything. We're going to walk you through an hour that if you commit to doing consistently, will build your business forward no matter what. But remember, take a couple minutes. I'm going to set a timer. Why are you building this? You can write it down. You can think about it. If you have a vision board or just something that reminds you of what you're doing and why you're doing it, I'm going to give us 30 seconds because we're on a time crunch. We want to make sure we get it all in. 30 seconds of why you're building this business. So sit with it, think about it, write it out. 30 seconds of the vision.
Okay, so that's how you want to start every single work session, is recentering yourself and figuring it out so that because I promise you this, if you are super tired, super grouchy, super angry, super anything, and you're like, oh, I just got to get this in, I promise you, even though it is on social media, people can feel it in your messages. If you aren't mentally feeling good, and I know, again, it sounds woo woo, and I promise when we started, we thought this was a bunch of hokey pokey, but it does make a difference. People, you can send out the exact same message as someone else, but if you're coming across with really bad energy, or you're like, they're probably going to say no anyway, or oh, they're probably going to ghost me, or oh, I don't have time for this, it'll come across that way. So you want to be in a good headspace and turn on your favorite music. Like if you have a playlist that makes you hyped up, turn it on whenever you're doing your power hour, because it just makes you feel that high energy. And also, if you haven't gone on Team VIP on Unit 1, I know that I saw Brittany put hers down. I think I saw Sarah put hers down. You have not gone on that very first post where it says new coaches start here. There's a welcome post, and it has you write down what your vision is and what your why is. Put that down. It will definitely change. By the end of this year, it will look totally different. But you have got to put it out into the world. You've got to put it down, tag us in it so that you know it's out there, and that is your constant, like, you know, that's your anchor that you're coming back to. All right, first 10 minutes of our power hour looks like this. We're about to start it. We're going to set a timer for 10 minutes. First thing, just to kind of open the flow, get your body going, is just being social on social media. You can do this on Facebook and or Instagram. There are a lot of social media outlets for the purpose of our business. We find the most success focusing on Facebook and Instagram. You can bounce back and forth. You can focus on one, whichever one you feel like you have the most engagement on, you have the best conversations in. It doesn't really matter. Don't feel obligated to one or the other. You ultimately want to get both moving forward. But for the purposes of this, choose one or both, and you're just going to go on social media and be social. For example, if you're on Facebook, start with happy birthday messages. Everybody that has a birthday today, go through happy birthday, hope you're having an awesome day. I cannot tell you the number of coaches and clients I have just from birthday messages. Maybe they don't, you know, there's like, oh, thanks, cool. I may have sent them 3 years of birthday messages, but then randomly they message me back and are like, hey, I really want to feel better. Or, hey, I really want to do this. Will you tell me more information? You're just sending out a message with no agenda. So this part, 10 minutes, you're just going in and you're just sharing value, love, boosting people up. So sending happy birthday messages, commenting on people's posts, saying, you know, hey, I love that top. Where did you get it? Hey, I love that swimsuit. Where did you get it? Like, this little swimsuit cover up that I got was from a girl on Instagram, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love that. Where did it come from? And I went and ordered it. You know, just genuine conversations that you're putting on social media with no agenda. You're not thinking, I'm going to tell this person happy birthday and I hope they sign up as a coach. You don't want to do that. You literally just, we call it like deposits. You're putting in, you know, social media deposits. And social media was designed to be social. So you're going to get better engagement on your posts and stories if you're actually being social on Instagram and Facebook, because then Instagram and Facebook / Zuckerberg sees that and says, thank you for using my platform. I'm going to now boost your information out into the World Wide Web. So 10 minutes, ready, set. You're already about a minute in, go. And if you have questions during this, you are more than welcome to pop them in the chat or unmute yourself. You definitely can ask as we go. But this part, we're just doing deposits, commenting on people's things, but don't leave comments like, so cute. You want to leave comments that are 5 words or more and then ask a question. And if possible, so for instance, I see this girl wearing this cute kimono. Instead of commenting on her photo saying cute kimono, I drop into her DMs, I go into her message box and say, hey, that post you just made with that super cute tie-dye kimono, where did you get it? I'm about to go on vacation. I'd love to have it. That's a way better conversation starter than cute kimono, have a good day. That doesn't give a, you want to do something that's going to initiate a conversation. Same thing goes for replying to stories. So if you are on Instagram or Facebook stories, replying to other people's stories is a good way to drop those deposits and get good conversations going.
Okay, time is up for being social on social media. So isn't that fun? That's just a good way to get in, like we talked about adding deposits, a great way to like start your flow. Next, what we want to do is we want to focus on expanding our market. Now, if you're a newer coach, honestly, what we want to focus on is your warm market. People who already know, like, and trust you. You can share your journey. Those are sometimes going to be the people that, well, at least for us in our experience, those are usually the people that join you first, the people who already know and like you. But it's important to not only reach out to your warm market, but as you begin, focus on expanding that market of the people that are in your network of a community. That way, when your warm market, everyone that is going to join you has joined you, you have a new group to constantly be funneling. I always say you just don't always keep your funnel going. So how to expand your market? A couple ways. Again, on Facebook, the best way to do that is to go through and find mutual friends. For instance, my husband, he's from Ohio, but I would go through his friend list and see, is there anybody that he has good friends with that maybe I would want to be friends with? And I don't just like randomly add people to my newsfeed because that's weird. I always make sure that I check them out. Would I actually want to have a conversation with you? Do we have anything in common whatsoever? If so, I would add them. Again, somebody that has mutual friends, like more than 5 mutual friends, is usually a good way that you're like, oh, okay, we're friends from college, they're friends from college, we could probably be friends. That's one way, is to go and look at your mutual friends, go to a college friend, see who her mutual friends are, and kind of go and look. I say her, I'm saying that, but obviously, Cody, you can have guy friends too. But that's one way on Facebook that you can do that. If it gets weird, sometimes people accept you, sometimes they don't. If somebody's like, hey, I just got a friend request from you, how to know you? And I'd say, oh, you popped up in my feed as someone I might know. I saw that you know Jessica. We went to A&M together. I thought we might connect. We have something in common. That's it. They don't have to accept you. They can decline, but that's a great way to like get the ball rolling. Second way on Facebook that I suggest expanding your market is through groups. So there's a ton of groups on Facebook. Honestly, they've blown up since when we started. But find groups of your interest or your season of life. So, for instance, I am a twin mom. I'm in a lot of twin mom groups. Maybe you are a scrapbooker, or I don't even know what hobbies people have. But let's just say you have a hobby, search it in Facebook. I guarantee there's a group on it. Request to join, and then just be an active participant in that group. That's not to go in and say you're just going to friend everybody in there, but just see who's active. If people have questions about, there's a twin mom group that I'm in on sleep training twins. Guess what? I did that. I can help. I can offer advice. I can share the books, right? So I'm just going to go be my best self, offer advice, be a contributing member of that group. And usually what ends up happening is people will end up sending me like a private message outside of that group. Be like, oh my God, thank you so much for that comment. They'll tell me about their twins. We'll connect. We'll send a friend request. Boom, I've expanded my market. Now, I haven't gone at them with an invite to join my group or anything. I'm just looking to make connections, knowing they'll be in my feed. They're obviously going to see what I'm doing. And at some point, I'll probably invite them. But right now, I'm just focusing on expanding my market. That was through Facebook. The second way is through Instagram, which honestly, I think Instagram's a much easier way for me to expand my market. So, kind of the same thing. I will go to account that I love. I love, let's say, I'm using an example of like baby stuff because that's in my head and I'm looking at Jessica. Jessica has this baby carrier. I don't know what you do. You're like a baby wrap. I don't even know what it is because I didn't do that. But she could go to that brand of baby carrier, see who's following that account, who's engaging with that account, more importantly, and then go look in their feed, click on their thing. Is this somebody that I would actually want to relate to? Yes or no? Because not everyone that follows is somebody that's going to be my vibe, and that's okay. But if it's like, oh, look, it looks like a mom. She has young kids just like me. She posts online. Cool. What I do then is we call it the 3-2-1 method. We like 3 photos, we comment on 2, and we do 1 request to follow. The 3-2-1 method. It is very easy to do. You can do it throughout your day. This is something that you could just do anytime throughout your day, the 3-2-1 method. But finding that big account with a personal interest or somebody that you like, looking at their followers, and then checking out those followers and seeing who you can 3-2-1. Like 3 photos, comment on 2, request to follow 1. Same thing if it's not just like a product account. Let's say there's just somebody that you follow, a public figure online that you just love. I follow a lot of fashion bloggers. I don't know. I just like to follow them. But maybe it's a thought leader. Maybe it's like a Brendon Burchard or Gary Vee or whatever the case may be. Again, go to their feed, see who's engaging with their content, check them out, go to their feed and see, hey, that's somebody I want to connect with. Would I want to have lunch with this person? Is this somebody that I really think I have something in common? If so, 3-2-1. Does that make sense? Yes, or looking up hashtags work too. That's a great one. I totally forgot about that. But yeah, definitely look up hashtags. So if you are or hashtags or what is it called? Location tags, geotagging. So I'll go and look for people who live in the South Austin, Buda, Kyle area. People geotag, and I'll go check them out. And again, I look at their feed, and it's kind of like, some people I look at, I'm like, ooh, we would definitely not be friends in real life, so I'm not even gonna go there. But if I look at them like, oh, they seem like a normal person, they post, they're engaged online, they look like we would be in the same season of life, yes, I'm gonna go 3-2-1 them. Comment on 3 or like 3 photos, comment on 2, request to follow. Let me look at the chat. What were we saying? So your goal is to follow them so that you can follow you in your post. Yes. So that's not always going to be a follow back. Sometimes it is, but usually when you get a notification that somebody's liked 3 photos and commented on 2, there are and requested, that's like 6 different notifications they're going to get on you. And I don't know if you're like me, but when I get a bunch of notifications from one person, I'm like, oh, who is this person? And then I go check them out. Ideally, your content is good. They'll see it, they'll get roped into what you're doing. They're like, oh, I like her, I'll follow back. That's the goal. So when we talk about social media next week, we'll talk more on that. But like, that's why it's important to have a presence online, because I want people that I 321, they get all those notifications from Raquel McAfee. I want them to be like, who's Raquel McAfee? Then they come to my feed, they see my last few posts and like, oh, she's a cute mom. We're in the same season of life. We have something in common. I'm going to follow her back. That's what we do. Does that make sense? Now, let me just teach you some tricks of the trade. So let me go to Jessica. So let's say I found some girl, cute little girl, mama 3. She's at the beach. Who is that? Jessica Warren, right? So let's just say I 321 her, right? Oh, I'm like, oh, how cute. Yeah, I have a little girl too. I liked 3 photos. I commented on 2 and I request to follow. Then what I would do, I don't know if you can see that little flag button at the right. If you click that, it'll say save to a collection. So I click save to a collection and I have collections saved. You can have one that's like new connections, new follows. I have one per month. So for instance, I would have a June follow and I would add her to my June follow collection. Why is that important? Because I want, if I like her, obviously, I want to like make sure that I'm connecting to her. I don't want to just follow her once, comment a couple times, and then never have any sort of relationship again. So that later when I go back, and we just talked about being social on social media, I can go to my June collection and I can see if Jessica has recently posted anything. It's a quick way to find all the people that I've connected with in June. I can go and see and be like, oh, let me go comment on her last few posts. Again, I'm just trying to establish a relationship. I'm not coming out of the blue with a cold invite. I want to build that relationship over time to where eventually it's natural. She's commenting on my stuff, I'm commenting on her stuff. Then it can be naturally flowing into an invite. Does that make sense? Questions on that? We're kind of teaching you a lot of the stuff that we do behind the scenes. And I know it can feel like a lot in the beginning, but ultimately, I want you to go find people that you like, go see who's following them on Instagram, and then choose to 321 them. Okay. So this is usually what we spend the most time doing, about 10 minutes. But again, this can be throughout your day. Like I 321 people, this is really gross and TMI, but hey, we're all friends here, on the toilet, right? If you tell me you don't take your phone to the toilet, I don't believe you. But that's a great time. I'm scrolling and I'm 321ing people. Okay. We're just keeping it real here. All right. Go ahead. Let's go start expanding our market. We're getting close real fast up in here, right?
Okay, so we're going to move on to the next section just so that we have time for questions at the end. But just know this piece is super important, like super important for the future of your business. Because if you feel like you get to a place where I will hear coaches say, I don't have anybody else to talk to or anybody else to invite, this step keeps new people constantly coming into your funnel. So you don't want to skip this step ever because it's super important. Even on days where you're like, man, I can't get a whole power hour in, make this a priority because you constantly want to have fresh people coming into your scene. And it's also keeps you excited because you meet people you would never have met. And you get as much as you take from social media. You get so much value in other areas, other social media corners. Okay, so the next section that you'll see on the power hour is inviting. And I know that that's like the one thing that I was super scared about when I started coaching because I was like, that's freaking weird. I don't want to invite people. Ew. Like I just felt and the top, probably the top sales or the top objection that we get about coaching is that people are scared to sell. They're like, ew, selling is icky. And we tell everybody, don't sell then. Don't be weird. If you don't want to be an icky salesperson, don't be, because that's weird. And that's not what we do. But as you see, we just spent the first 30 minutes doing the exact opposite of selling. We were adding value to other people's social media content. And that's what we really love. And if you do that part well and you do that part authentically, when you get to the invite part, it's not hard, it's not scary, and it doesn't feel weird because you're not messaging some rando stranger you've never met, some rando message. Because believe me, I know you've all had them in your inbox and you're like, do I know you? And you just sent me some Usborne party invite? Like, what is that? And then you're totally turned off because you're like, I don't even know you, and you're coming at me with some weird compliment. I love when I get people that invite me to join health and fitness things. They're like, oh my gosh, you're so cute. You look like you would love health and fitness. And I'm like, did you even like take a once over my profile at all? And then I get offended because I'm like, you didn't even look. You just like invited me weirdly. So this next session is inviting. And who are you inviting? The people that you've already previously engaged with. So people that are viewing your stories, people that are commenting on your posts, people that are liking your posts, people that you see that are already engaging with your content, because then they already know what you're about. They know what you do. They know who you are. If you're doing a good job on the social media front, which if you didn't see the team call from Sunday, there was a lot of good value there, but we'll also do a focus call. I think it's next week or the weeks after. I'm not sure. Next week, I think. And this next Wednesday will be our social media call. We'll break that all down for you. But if you have a strong social media backing, not perfect, not fabulous, not beautiful, but if you have a strong background, when I say that, I mean, when I go to your page, do I know what you do? And do you have something for me to join? Do I know that from your page and your stories? That's the only questions that you need to answer. Are you a good time? Is there something I can join? Have you made that clear every day? That's it. With that, so for me, for instance, if I'm thinking constantly, I'm thinking, okay, if I want to tomorrow during my business hour, if I want to be able to invite to my June 15th boot camp, let's say this was me last week, I'm going to go through I'm going to post me doing a workout. I'm going to talk about the ease of fit. Like last week, you may have seen on my stories, I was talking about how easy it was to fit this style workout into your summer travel. And I was talking about why I loved it so much and why it worked and why it helped to keep me lean and help in all the things. I was talking about all the things that they would be getting in a challenge group without saying, hey, join my challenge group. You know what I'm saying? So I was adding that value piece. And then the next day, I'm going to see who viewed those stories all the way through. Because clearly they were interested in some form or fashion, or they wouldn't have watched all 5 stories of me talking about fitness and nutrition and how to fit it in during the summer. So I go to the very last slide that I posted about, because that means they watched all 5 slides of me talking about health and fitness and fitting it in. And those people that view that story, I'm going to invite and I'm going to say, hey, thank you so much for the love of my stories. I totally appreciate it. I'm not sure if you're interested in joining my June 15th boot camp, but if you are, I would love to send you the information. Can I send that over to you? Always ending with a question, always opening up the conversation. And if they say no, no big deal. But it's not weird or creepy because like you saw those stories, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I don't need to do this long, weird post. I'm just going to say, hey, thanks for loving my stories. I'm not sure if you're interested in jumping in what I was talking about on my stories, but if you are, let me send you some information. And then boom, you leave it just as that. So it doesn't feel weird or icky. Same thing if you're inviting to a coach opportunity sneak peek, which we will have a coach opportunity sneak peek. Is it next week, Raquel? What day is it? I don't know what day it is. I don't know where I am.
I don't know. I have to look, but it's
I,
next week.
it's next week. So Same thing, the posts that you're putting out and the story content you're putting out, you want it to be around coach life. And even though you're a brand new coach, you still have the opportunity to talk about coaching and how it's changed you or how it drew you in or what you're excited about it to be. And then off of that post and off of those stories, you're then able to go in and invite them to come and watch the opportunity or whatever it is that you're inviting them to. So you want your social media content to display what it is that you want to be inviting. So then you take this next couple of minutes, and if you, I know you all have at least one post up because I've seen it. So if you have not messaged every single person on that post that messaged you, that commented or liked or viewed some of your stories, go in now and shoot them an invite. Super simple. There's an example on this slide if you need it. But don't be worried about it. Don't get nervous about it. The worst thing they can say is no, not right now. No big deal. The best thing they can say is, oh my gosh, I've been thinking about it, but I've been too nervous to ask. I think about Amy, who she'll probably be watching the recording. She was actually watching my stories and doing Beachbody on Demand behind the scenes like a little ninja for years. For years. I'm like, if I would have just invited her 5 years ago, she would have already been on this team, but she was so nervous to reach out. It's a compliment for you to reach out and say, hey, I would love the opportunity to work with you, either as a teammate or as a client, whatever it is that you're inviting to. So use that time now. We'll go for about, let's go for like 7 minutes so that we have enough time to finish.
I just shared in our coach message pod how you can share our free sample workouts. So Beachbody has 10 free sample workouts that you can give out. And for a lot of people, and even for me to this day, I like to offer free value and connection first. So if people are watching my workout stories, I'll send a message. It's all typed up in that message pod so you can see what I say. Just saying, hey, thanks so much for supporting my stories. If you'd like to try a free sample workout of the one I'm just doing, I'd love to shoot it over. Let me know. All right. So then who doesn't want a free sample workout, right? Then you send it over and it gives you an opportunity to follow up with them to be like, hey, did you get a chance to do that workout? Because I'll ask them like, hey, when do you think you're going to do it? Let me know when you get it done so I can see what you thought. Then it gives me a chance to follow up. Let's just go ahead and move into the next step for time purposes and the next step after inviting is following up. If I've sent a free workout, then it gives me an opportunity to follow up, see what they thought, did they like it? And then I can say, would you like to do the whole program with us? Not sure if you saw, but I'm running a boot camp starting June 15th where a lot of us will be doing that full program. It's incredible. People get amazing results. Would it be okay if I send you some info on it? That's it. And that's a more natural flow when you offer something free, you follow up to see how they liked it. Most of the time, they'll love it. And then you can flow into an invite. So, gave that to you there. That's just another option for you. I just want you to know you don't have to just totally come out of nowhere with an invite if this is a better flow for you. Depends on what works best for you, but that's an option. The other thing I want to talk about with follow-ups is fortune is in the follow-up. Usually they say statistics show most people say yes somewhere between the 7th and 12th follow-up. Which if you're hearing that, you're like, oh dear God, right? Like most of us will follow up once, maybe twice, right? And then we're like, oh gosh, no, they ghosted me or they said no, like that's awful. You got to keep following up, right? Fortune is in the follow up. Following up to me shows that you care, right? If somebody has expressed an interest and we've had a conversation, me following up says, like, I care, like you expressed interest. I'd love to have you join us. Is now a better time? Because you don't know when it's going to be a better time. Carol's not on this Zoom, but she'll probably watch the recording. I think I've been talking to her for almost a year about coaching, literally almost a year. And she just joined me this month, right? But if I had just never followed up with her, I don't know, maybe she wouldn't have signed up. So fortunate follow up, literally keep following up until one of you dies. That's awful and morbid, but truly, unless they're like, quit following up, which in 5 years, 5.5 years, I've never had anyone say, quit following up with me. They don't, because I'm coming from a place and energy of I care about you. I know what I have to offer can absolutely change your life. So that's what we're going to talk about follow ups indefinitely, but just know continuing to follow up, keeping track of who you're talking to, whether it's on a sheet of paper or like an Excel spreadsheet, doesn't really matter. Just can I mostly do pen and paper? Honestly, I feel like we've done back and forth with the computer and pen and paper, but I feel like most of the time we go back to pen and paper. And just know where you are in the conversation so that you can follow up. Cool. Any questions on that? An example follow-up that we said is, hey, just checking in to see if you got my last message. Didn't want you to think I forgot about you. Super low key. Sometimes, I see a message. Actually, I just did it today. Somebody texted me and I saw it and then I got distracted by my kids and I totally forgot to respond. That happens a lot. So to say, hey, not sure if you got my last message, just wanted to follow up, didn't want you to think I was forgetting about you. It's like, oh my gosh, yes. Right. So a lot of times people will just not respond because they forget. So making sure to follow up in that way. Cool.
So for any of those warm market people or the people that you sent on your original list, like your from your new coach checklist, if you've invited every person that you put on that list, you probably didn't hear back from all of them. So following up, starting with those people is perfect. And I know there was a question that Raquel answered in the chat, but in case you missed it, if you have people that still want to be in the June 15th boot camp, but they haven't signed up yet, it is still okay to plug them in. They just might not have they will not have their stuff, they will not have their stuff in order to start on time, which is okay. Normally this stuff takes 5 to 7 days, but with COVID, the shipping it's taken like 2 weeks. I think Cody and Sarah just got their package. And so it took like right at a week and a half or so, 10 days. So it's longer than 2 weeks. Okay. So It's taking longer than normal, which is okay. But and I had some people ask too, I want to make sure you're all on the same page. When they sign up, you have that welcome email to send them that says, until your package comes in and while we're waiting on your package, here's what we're going to do. Because they can focus on their greens, their waters, their workouts. That's a lot of change for people, because you have to remember, think back to when you first started, or maybe even how you're feeling now. Changing your habits from maybe having 12 Dr. Peppers and fast food every day to just focusing on getting half your body weight in water, 5 servings of greens, and a 30-minute workout, that's a big change. So don't feel like they're not already, they can't start immediately, because the very next day after they sign up with you, they get that welcome email. They can start and they can make huge progress on what they're doing. And then when their stuff comes in, they're not as overwhelmed because they've already kind of baby stepped these habits a little bit. That's where you want them to start immediately, getting with something, dabbling with workouts. So then when their package comes in, they're even more excited, but they're not super overwhelmed. And then we dive into more of the detailed nutrition, non-negotiables, that sort of thing. And same thing with meal prepping. Don't tell them to meal prep right away, because that's overwhelming. That's a lot. I would rather you, instead of going to McDonald's, go to Subway. Like, let's baby step it. There's a lot of progress on the way. You don't need to go from 0 to I'm eating broccoli and chicken every day and I'm going to be miserable because that's the only way to be healthy. We want to break that barrier. We want to break that concept and that trigger in people's minds, because people think being healthy is miserable. Fast food makes it easier. But honestly, it's just replacing this habit with this habit. And we want to do that one at a time. So even though your package won't be here, people are more than welcome to start on June 15th. If they sign up after like Sunday, the 14th, I would have them kind of hold off and wait until the next group, just because you don't want them to feel so behind with the post. You'll see that we will have the opportunity to add your newbies on Friday. I think it's the 12th, Friday the 12th. We'll have you add the newbies.
Add people Thursday.
Add people Thursday the 11th. You will be a coach admin in our group. And then you can add your newbies into the group. And we have the post designed and set up for people's first 21 days. So it is built for people to be brand new. And that is the whole purpose, is that they go through it. Everybody's kind of on the same playing field. So you'll be able to add your people Thursday. They'll go through a prep Friday through Sunday, and then we'll hit the ground running on Monday. So that's why we don't really want you to add them in like on Thursday or Friday of the first week, because then they already kind of feel behind or lost. And we want them to have a solid experience whenever they start. Okay, we're going to open it up for questions. Lastly, I'm going to tell you the last step, but we're not going to physically do it. We're going to open it up for questions instead. The last step is to serve the people that are already at your table. So spend time every day. This is you going into your challenge group, going into your bod group, and commenting and loving on people, not just your clients, everybody's clients. You go in, post your workout selfie, you do your response to the daily action item, and you go in and you love up on everybody else, because it's hard for people. And I'm sure you know this, you feel the same way. For me, I would have totally been a fly on the wall. It's hard for people to go in and put themselves out there and to post that sweaty selfie, because they still feel self-conscious. So if they have somebody who's not their personal coach going in and saying, awesome job, I'm super proud of you, that motivates them to do it again, that positive reinforcement. And so the more fun and the more engagement you can do in your group, the better. And then make sure you're checking in with your people and checking in with your coaches and your clients that are setting up. Hey, want to check in and make sure you're doing okay? We have in our client guidebook every Sunday for them to send us a check-in email. Some of them do, some of them don't. But make sure that you keep a list of your clients so that you can go in and check in on them and make sure that they don't feel like you just signed them up and then forgot who they were. We are super big on that in everything that we do with our clients and our coaches. You are not just a number. You are not a success cut point. We are super passionate about what we do and who we help. So don't forget the people you're already serving, because there's a huge opportunity there to make sure that they feel valued and that they get the results that they want. Okay, last thing we're going to do is we're going to show you Business Activity Tracker. Raquel is getting hers. She's going to pull it so that you can see the physical copy. It's in your online office under Coach Business Training Tools. It's also in Team VIP in the unit section. Oh yeah, Leanne has hers out. I'm proud of you, girl. Proud of you, girl. So Leanne has it, if you see it right there. It's in the Team VIP unit section. You will see a link to Business Activity Tracker. You can print that off. If you see Leanne has it nice and bound, there's Raquel's copy. Has it nice and bound. If you will see Leanne's version is black and white, please follow that. Do not have it printed in color. Raquel and I printed ours in color. It was $82, okay? Should have seen our faces at checkout. Really precious. Don't do that. double-sided black and white. We had it bound, and it's like, how was yours, Leanne? Like $4 or something? Super expensive, super inexpensive compared to
Mistakes were made.
Again, we're not kidding when we tell you we make all the mistakes so that you don't have to. You can get it bound at FedEx. We got ours done at Office Depot. Any of those places, any places like that. Just have them say, hey, I want to print. It's for 1 week, so print 52 and bind it. $4 later, you have what feels like a really solid tracker to keep track of your stuff.
But what we took you through is basically the tracker, right? And it also shows you like what you can post on your stories. Y'all, this is proven. If you follow this, you will hit Success Club. You will build a strong foundation for your business. It's been proven time and time again. When we get coaches that are like, it's not working. And I'm like, okay, cool. Let me see your tracker. Well, I mean, you have to be consistent with it. If we say nothing else, consistency in doing this tracker is what we really, really want you to focus on. And again, it's easy. It's easy to do, but it's also easy really not to do, right? So if you'll just commit to that tracker, trust the process, guaranteed, that's when you build traction in your business. Okay.
Okay, questions about anything we went over today. I know there was questions about genealogy stuff. We will dive deep into that. We will save that for a section of the call, but know for right now, as you're signing up coaches, just make sure to ask and say, hey, this is I'm going to sign up a coach. Where do they need to go? And we will help you to make sure that foundationally you're set up. Honestly, it's really hard to mess up in the beginning. Mm-hmm. So you're safe. But we do want to make sure, like for instance, Brittany, we wanted to make sure that mom was on one side, husband was on the other. Same thing for Casey. She's got husband on one side, mom on the other. We do want to make sure that controlled accounts are opposite because that'll be beneficial down the road. But if you have questions, ask us. But we will talk about genealogy towards the last end of the call on the last week, just because that's it's more long-term vision stuff. This is more like, let's get this going right now because this is what serves us in this like season of the business. But any other questions you have about this Power Hour challenge group coming up, anything like that? Go good.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me? Okay. So when we get them, I have a lot of people already asking questions and I don't know where to guide them just yet. And I know Danielle had the exact same question. She had messaged me and Brittany. So Friday we'll set them up in BOD.
Thursday you'll add them, yes.
And is that to our BOD? Because Brittany already made our own. So are we not supposed to do that?
No, that's perfect. So you'll have access. We'll give you the template, and then you can go in and schedule all of the posts. And then you can, of course, adjust the posts to however you want, but you will have a template of the one that Raquel and I use and created so that you don't have to think about it. You can schedule the post ahead of time. Well, I say that BOD groups has been a little finicky. You should be able to schedule the posts.
Yeah, that's something that we might have to talk about, Jess, if we're going to do BOD groups or bring it back to Facebook. It's totally up to you. I mean, I think BOD groups is super helpful because people can track. It's brand new. So there's a few little like bugs and fixes. If you're a new coach and you want to do it, go for it. I think starting there is always a good thing. Jessica and I started on Facebook, so it's a harder transition for us because we don't do well with change. But we'll give you our template so you know exactly what to post and get it going. But yeah.
So you say that, so she mentioned earlier that there's a Facebook group that will be added and then everybody is able to add their people to it though.
So VIP Fit Crew is our veteran group, and that is for all of our customers, downline customers. Everybody goes in, and for that we do a monthly theme, and so we still every single day. We do a monthly theme. Raquel and I run it. We do a monthly theme. There's posts every day, and that's an ongoing group for people that have gone through a challenge group prior. We like newbies to go through this 21-day challenge because it's fundamentals and foundations. You know, it's water, it's alcohol, it's treats, it's how to do weekends. It's all those like fundamental things on how to be successful right in the beginning so that you can create longer term habits. And then we pop them over to our community VIP Fit Crew, and those are for like ever and ever, and then everybody's always welcome in there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I'm in both already. So the VIP crew.
Yeah, you're in it because
will be added to.
So you can add anybody in there that you need to.
Okay. And so we won't be posting something every day for our crew. That would be y'all?
In that community group, yes, but you can also do the same thing and create your own community, but I wouldn't worry about that until after you get through this first challenge group. And then, but don't feel like you have to create that. So Abby and Brittany, they have been doing this for a while. Abby's been in my group since the beginning of time, so she knows what it looks like and feels like. Don't feel like you need to do that. You can definitely add your clients that have already signed up to Raquel and I's group that's starting on the 15th. Same content. It's just, you don't have to worry about running it. You can pop in, be a participant with your participants. So don't feel that pressure. Abby and Brittany are going to do the same thing. They're just going to run their own group together because they've done it for a while and they're going on with that. So
I think we were afraid we weren't telling them because some of them were like, what's my meal plan and whatnot. And it's like,
it's
well,
coming.
hold
So
on,
just
do
let
I
them
need
know.
to?
You'll be added to the group on Thursday. We'll be prepping Friday through Sunday.
And the meal plans will be uploaded, but in that welcome email, we have like our new client guidebook, and the links to where we host all of our meal plans are there. So I always just say,
Right.
if you want to go ahead and start with the meals, just check back to that new client guidebook. It's all in there for you.
Okay.
But sometimes people don't read them. So
They don't, because that's the same
No,
person
they
that's
don't.
asked all these
But I
questions. I'm
always
like,
kind of reverse
well.
that, like where to find it so that they'll
Yeah.
remember. But yeah, they don't always read it. That's
Yeah. I signed up somebody last night and I sent her all this information and then it was question after question. I'm like, just look at that link.
Just
Push the button. You got it.
Yes.
okay, any other questions that we have?
Oh, real quick. This is Danielle.
Oh, wait.
Are we going to be doing a challenge every month per se? Is that what we usually do? Every month?
Yep.
Okay.
We run a new group for newbies every month. And then
Okay.
after the 21 days, we give our clients the option to repeat those first 21-day foundational days. Because sometimes people are like, I feel like I need to go through it again. Cool.
Right.
Or they have the option to join our veteran group, which is VIP Fit group.
Yeah. So I could tell people if I get them this Sunday, I could say, hey, our next challenge would be July 15th. So you can maybe join that one.
We always do it the third Monday of the month.
Okay. Good to know. Okay.
Yeah. So we add them in that Thursday prior, and then day one is that third Monday of the month.
Thank you.
Okay, any other? Go ahead. No, you're fine. Go ahead.
They can join the challenge group even if they only buy like shakes, right? Or even if they only buy like something small or whatever.
Absolutely. That is totally up to you. But
Okay.
yes, if they have purchased something, like for some of our people, they may already have a fitness program they love. Maybe they do Camp Gladiator or whatever. And they just want to do the nutritional piece. Cool. Come on with your bad self, because they end up seeing and being exposed to the other stuff. And then they kind of fall in love naturally without feeling forced.
Okay.
Vice versa. Maybe they're like, well, I really want to do the workouts. I'm a little nervous about nutrition or for whatever reason. Cool. Come on in. Then they see the transformations, they see the benefits, and then they'll come around on their own.
All right. Well, thank y'all for doing that action hour with us today. We usually are on this link at noon. I say usually, somebody's on usually at noon, Monday through Friday to do this. So we won't talk you through it, but I will go through and I'll be doing this. So if you pop on this link anytime at noon Central Standard Time, somebody's going to be doing a power hour. That's sometimes just great accountability to be like, ugh, I don't really want to work today, but I know somebody else will be on working. So pop on, feel free to join us and do those activities daily too.
This link is also, there's a lot of 5 a.m.ers that get up and do their workouts and power hours.
Yeah.
I say 5 a.m.ers as though I'm not one. I used to be, and then Lou was born. So, I'll catch you when she sleeps again. But all throughout the day, there's, depending on your season of life and when you like to do your stuff, this link is always live and always open for you. And yes, Abby, you can ask another question.
Payday is Thursday.
Paydays are Thursday. Thank you for asking that. Yes. So the weeks go Thursday to Wednesday night, which is also when our ranks fall. So let's say, today is Wednesday. Whatever you are today, meaning a lot of us in here got our 2 active coaches within the last week, you will show up for the first time as Emerald tomorrow. So that is rank day and payday, and you get paid off of your current rank. if that makes sense. And what you see, so when you go to your Coach Online office, you'll see an earnings tab. What you see in your earnings tab tomorrow will hit your bank account next Thursday. It's always a week ahead. So if there's any adjustments or anything, it happens on a Monday, and then it gets paid to your bank account on a Thursday. Also,
So that gets posted today for next week.
Correct. Tomorrow. You'll see it tomorrow morning, and then you'll
Okay.
get it dropped in your bank on Thursday. And for those of you that have your spouses and your moms and all of that signed up, you can send it all to the same bank account. It does not need to be separate bank accounts for multiple, like for U+2, the U+2 rule, which is you and a spouse and a parent. You can have them on the same credit card, same bank account. So like for Caleb's account, for instance, whenever I started him, it was all on my card that I used for my business, and it all went to my bank account that I set up for my business.
Sarah, you're asking, does it have to be a few items or does it have to be a challenge pack? So for me, allowed in my group, I recommend the challenge pack just because I know they're going to get great results. If you go all in with fitness and nutrition, hands down, those clients always get the best results. I can't, as a coach, tell you, I show you my transformation, see what's possible, but if you only choose to do the fitness route and don't do the nutrition, I can't guarantee that you're going to get the same results. So I always let them know, you can totally go that route, but I just can't guarantee that your results will be as good as my clients who go all in with me. However, like Jessica said, let's just say they get energized and collagen and hopefully BOD. At the very least, they need to be on a nutrition of some sort or workouts, but let's just say they do collagen and energize. Hopefully they're working out somewhere. But if they were to just get products, I don't know. I don't think I would add them to my group. But that's my opinion. That's how I run my business. But if I don't know what you're doing when it comes to nutrition or fitness, I feel like my clients' results, while I don't have control over them, if I can't control at least knowing what workout they're doing, maybe they just did BOD and I know that they're going to do 21-day fix. Okay, I feel at least good knowing if you follow that plan, it'll help. Or, hey, I'm doing Camp Gladiator, but I'm going to do Shakeology and I'm going to learn Portion Fix. Okay, cool. You do your fitness, I'll teach you on nutrition. I know that I'm going to help you get some results. But if I don't feel like I can mentor you in one of those areas, I personally don't love to have those people in my group. But that's my choice as a coach. This is your business. You run it how you want to run it. But in the past, when we did do that, people don't get good results. They're frustrated because at the end, people are like, heck yeah, I lost 8 pounds. I lost 7 inches. And they're super pumped. Like people that go all in with us get bomb results, 100%. But if you're on the outside looking in and you see that and you didn't get those results, that's really easy for them to be like, oh, it didn't work for me. It's like, well, you actually didn't do it full out. So maybe that's why it didn't work for you. So you kind of have to decide for you. It's going to take some trial and error. Like Jessica and I said, we've done both. And you have to decide for you as a coach what works best for you. For me and for the integrity of the results that I produce in our groups, I like for people to have the well-rounded solution. If nothing else, at least I know I have an aspect in control of their fitness or their nutrition in some way, shape, or form. That was a very long-winded answer. I hope it made sense.
But yeah, but really, if you are doing a good job behind the scenes on your social media and your stories, rarely do we have an objection about the whole pack. Because if you're building enough value, people don't come up with excuses. They're like, whatever it is, I want it. Mm-hmm. And so if you're coming up with an objection, I always turn internally first. What am I doing to not showcase the correct value? But I do have clients. Danielle was one of them who just purchased Energize forever. She purchased Energize for several months. She was never in a group because she was doing her own thing. She just wanted Energize. And I'm like, cool, perfect. But we didn't even talk about a group because it wasn't what she was after at the time. And that's okay too.
Yeah, and I think that's what's great about this business is that we have literally so many products that help people. I believe everyone should have Energize in their life because it's that amazing. I have people that love the beach bars. My kids love beach bars. I'm obsessed with the beach bars. Cool. You're already buying snack bars. Might as well buy the ones that are great for you and don't have gross ingredients. Yes. Collagen. People are already buying, I don't remember what that brand is. I used to do collagen from Whole Foods, Vital Proteins or something. Now we have a great collagen that I'm obsessed with. So just because we have something in our wheelhouse for everyone. I totally believe that. And not everybody wants to be in a challenge group, and that's totally fine. But I definitely believe I can help them get set up with something. Even if it's just free workouts, just to try that. We always have a solution for somebody. Cool.
Abby said Casey's coworker. We put your coworker to right to sleep, Casey. She's like, y'all are boring. Okay. So basically, point of this, if you put in this hour every day, you're on your phone wasting time for at least this much time every day. Let's just be honest with ourselves. No matter how many jobs you hold, no matter how busy you are wasting at least that much time on your phone. We can all be honest and say that. If you make that time productive, whether it is at 5 a.m., 10 p.m., or in the cracks of your day, you will have a hell of a lot to show for it a year from now. That is the point of this. Any other questions before we pop off? I know we went a tiny bit over, but hopefully it was worth it for you. And we'll post a recording, of course, in case anybody missed it or wants to go back and watch it later. All right, awesome. We all have a stupendous day. Toodaloo, friends. See you in the chat.